What's good, everybody? This is Queen Common Sense coming back to you from the Chi-Town Kakalaka remix to the sticks. And all bullshit aside, we have had fun uh, throwing shit back and forth on here with the trolls and the people who are butthurt for whatever reason or another, that they do their thing and they have their issues, ips and gripes and complaints with each other, and life goes on. And, just got to keep stepping one step at a time. And I've been really working and doing things around here, exercising my right brain more. But in that, I was reflecting on some things that I experienced, and they're real life things that I see as a whole have occurred, just as a general consensus to see what mainstream everyday people and how they respond to and navigate through certain things that go on. And by the way, I'm working on a bag. These will be the next items in the butterfly totem. This will be an 8-pocket bag, and I'm doing that with this teal color. It's like an ocean kind of blue. The camera doesn't give it its true color for some reason, and I have no lights on in here and it still doesn't show on camera the right way. But I was going to do the bag with these two colors. This is like a periwinkle kind of purple, and I'm going to use this also. So it's going to be like an 8-pocket kind of half shoulder strap, not the full length shoulder strap, kind of half shoulder strap bag for, if you want to tote stuff, you want to tote your yarn, tote your crafts, tote your whatever. Yeah, so then when you get done, you throw it in the washer machine and wash it and start all over. I like crocheted stuff, and it just, you never get the same thing twice, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, this I'm not going to do no music. I'm not going to act silly. I'm not going to be singing and dancing and all that shit, because this is real talk. And I titled this one Show and Tell, because of not only what I've been kind of watching on YouTube and social medias, and in real life too. I see it, every day, with people. And I study people. I've always been an observer, people watcher, which inspired me to shift over into the career that I am pursuing now, which is psychology and law. And in doing that, I see a lot of things, and I try to reflect on those things in my life that, really are some poignant situations, things that you can learn from, teachable moments, to take away from certain situations. And it's been interesting, especially in a new environment, learning new culture, people, the rhythm of how people think, their energy up north versus here. It's been a challenge in some ways, and in other ways it's been a very enriching, enlightening experience for me, because I like different. I look for the uniqueness in people and in life situations, and patterns and thought patterns, how people process things, how people see things in their life, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a lighter, how people respond to certain things that happen differently than what you would normally expect. Somebody who in mainstream society who might still be asleep, not quite fully aware of self, would react. And that's what we see on social media. It's really just a aquarium of sorts, like a big, huge test tube. That's all social media really is. And, you know, people love to show and tell. We all guilty of it in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's your children, your job, your accomplishment, whatever. We all love to show and tell. And a lot of people, you know, we can plainly see they put a little bit too much in showing and telling. And you know, and I know all cultures do it, but I'm more concerned about my own. I said that ever since I started YouTube. I don't give a fuck what another motherfucker do until I get home straight first. And those among us who are chiseling away at healing the Black nation from the inside first, they feel me. I really ain't worried about nobody else. It's touching somebody. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep coming back. But I just want to say first, just, you know, for all that, hello, goddamn. And I hope y'all are having a beautiful week. Today marks the 22nd year that my second oldest son is sharing this walk with me. 22 years old. And very, very proud of him and his accomplishments, because I was told a lot of negative things raising a special needs child. And of course, you know, the stereotypes. Sorry, my camera is slipping down. I just got another one and it's really not behaving. But told a lot of negative things, you know, about him and his meeting his milestones, you know, what would be considered normal functioning, all that. I think it's just well-deserved celebration for him, as well as me as his first and strongest advocate. Very proud to say that today is the birthday of my son James, who is 22 today. He's my autistic angel. And I sit back and marvel at these kids, because I'm like, am I their mama? You know, are y'all sure you belong to me? I'm very, very proud of him. Very proud of him. That's the best, simplest way I can put it. But show and tell, yeah. See, I just did a show and tell right there. Bingo. But yeah, people take it quite literal, you know, when it comes to water in a jar. Awesome. This is alkaline water though, and it is really good for you. In a jar, sure is. Show and tell. See that? But people take that to heart. They take it deep to where they feel they have to prove something to an audience. You know, they have to prove something to the people that they think might be watching, whether it be the neighbors, you know, whatever. Church. People show and tell a lot. And I got that term from my grandmother. I've been channeling her a lot. Excuse me. And I just reach back for those things that she used to share with me as a little girl. I'd be like, I don't get it. And now I get it. You know, as I grow into that crone stage of life, you know, that stage where, you know, I feel most women should be chilling out now, you know, kind of nesting more, focus more on herself and her adult children and kind of helping them soar, you know, getting their wings out there, blowing wind underneath their wings so they can keep on flying. That's what we are now, guides. We're just an advisor, and we have a beacon, you know, and that beacon is always on for our children, whether they be our birth children or their peers or people who have adopted us or we have adopted them along the way. That's where I think Black indigenous women should be when they reach their late 30s, early to mid 40s. We should be calming way the fuck down. And show and tell don't really matter as much as it would if we was in our 20s stunting, whatever. You know, that's when you do that, is when you in your 20s, you don't know no better. You just learning what it is to have some shit. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You know, have responsibilities, have things to do and places to be, you know, and time constraints. Then you get a little beside yourself in your 20s. Oh, yes, I do this and I do that and whatever. You know, and a lot of times I talk about myself because I can't speak for nobody else, and I just use myself as an example. A lot of people on social media think it's a self-glorification thing, because I'm very direct, very to the point. I don't pull no punches, and I really don't, you know, in all seriousness, everyday life, I'm not this goddamn jovial. When I'm out and about in public, I'm out and back in, and I'm done, and I'm happy to be sitting here, you know, doing my shit and working and researching and doing assignments and typing up papers. That makes me happy now, because I would rather spend days with children than I would with a lot of adults, be honest with you, which is why I specialized in children when I was in the healthcare field. But that's a whole nother horse of another color. Show and tell is important to people, especially on social media, because they feel it's just like reality TV. You know, they feel like they have to have the next best aha moment, the most provocative moment, the most whoa moment, you know, when a lot of people, you know, just really internally, they are really not happy with where they are, you know, which is cool, because it could be taken more than one way. I'm not happy where I am because I would like to accomplish this or do more, or I'm not happy where I am and I'm stuck and I don't know how to get out of that rut. And that's just something that, you know, I've, you know, journaled about myself along the way. And again, talking about myself as an example, not trying to put myself on a pedestal above anybody else. And that's another thing. I just want to do a sidebar. You know, motherfuckers give you more elevation than you give yourself. You know, I see a lot of people who feel they have to have somebody to look up to. And if there's a flaw or any type of irregularity or any type of anything that doesn't meet their standard of perfection to where they look up to you, they're going to find every little thing wrong to try to finish tearing you down in their mind. You know, and I'm gonna get to that a little later. We're gonna put a sticky note on that, because that just happened to me on here on social media, and a couple other people I know too. Happened right here. People put you on a certain level of a pedestal, and then when, you know, they can't climb up there and sit next to you, so to speak. It's a metaphor. Then they have to knock that pedestal out from underneath you, start from scratch. Next, you know what I'm saying, if that makes sense. And I've been quiet for a long time. I haven't done a lot of talking like I normally do, because I've been really into myself and into my crafting. And my daughter and I have been putting a lot of things together, and I want to present her little Etsy shop that she started. And then of course, you know, I had one in the background for a long time, and now I'm getting that off the back burner. I mentioned it a couple times. Butterfly Totem is what I have been working on for quite a while now, and it's shaping up pretty beautifully. So that's another show and tell that I wanted to present to, you know, the people who enjoy handcrafting, repurposing, prepping, food prep, all kind of stuff. You know, I've been kind of piecing together along the way, and getting it together so it can be another legacy, piece of our legacy that we can hand down to our youngins, you know, and if they want to run that business, they can, or they can sell it or not, whatever. Just little stuff like that, you know, that can turn out to be something that's worthwhile in the long run. And I think those are the type of seeds that, you know, I would prefer to be planting, you know, than sitting up, you know, trying to show and tell some shit. Because it just, to me, it's a waste of time. And that's what social media is what I was saying. And a lot of people have something to prove. And it's not always to themselves. Like, you compete with yourself to say, I did this year, I'm going to do that next year. That's my goal. That's a healthy, functioning mind. People, you know, mental illness goes so deep, and it's so very intricate when you're dealing with certain personality disorders, personalities, period. And the show and tell syndrome has really been a detriment to the Black community as a whole, you know, because of, you know, people get into pissing contests. They feel like they need to one up the other one. This has to be more provocative than that. You know, I can say the more foul shit to this person than you can. All that. And what I want to point out is, you know, it says more about the sender being the show and tell motherfucker. It says more about that person's character than it does their target. And I've said this many times, you know, in comments and in conversations with people. People have got to find something to level you with them. Whatever station in life or mindset they are in life, if they feel low, they have to bring you lower. If they feel, you know, that they might be lacking in certain areas of their character or personality, they have got to find personality flaws, character flaws in others. And a lot of people don't realize that this is a mental illness. It is. And we become fixated so much so on proving that point or making that known or revealing things. But this is a big trend now, as we all can see on YouTube, exposing people, you know. And Jeannie said it best one time. She said, it's not what you say, it's what you can prove, you know. And if you can't prove anything and your proof is based on speculation, rumors, and gossip, you're really not exposing anything but just how really stupid you are, how ignorant you are, and how much you lack independent critical thought, you know. And unfortunately, you know, trolls and naysayers and all that, they're not gonna admit to that, you know. Ain't nobody gonna really admit to being mentally ill, you know what I'm saying? And they keep repeating the same pathology over and over again, thinking that they're gonna get a different result from what they do. It just never ceases to amaze me, you know, how people just keep on with the same thing over and over and over again. And it could be a week, a month, a year later, and they have not gotten the reaction that they think that they want or the reaction that they're looking for. And they just keep doing it. Like, and I be wondering, like, is this person tired of saying and doing the same thing over and over and over again? I wonder, you know, if people get tired of being redundant and really truly looking for a different outcome. That's mental illness. So, you know, I just observing that, looking at that, and I've learned a lot from observing that type of behavior because, you know, sadly, you know, I have members of my family who still do it. And I always say crazy people don't know they're crazy. And, you know, and sometimes when you have to deal with certain people, you'd rather not, you know, it's a situation where you're forced to. No, Bella. situation where you're forced to deal with these people, you have to kind of approach it with certain tools to where you make them think that everything is their idea and it's a great idea, and so you don't have to talk to that person any longer than what you have to. That's how I deal with those type of people in real life. Offline. Online, I fuck with people who fuck with me, and it's fun. Excuse me. I am finally purging the rest of this fucking flu. So please excuse me. I mean, this motherfucker hung on forever. Like, I have not seen a strain this strong, this damaging of the flu in a long time. I think it was my 3rd or 4th year nursing when it was a strain of the flu going around that was killing people, you know. And I think now, I'm talking healthy folks, not already sickly or frail people. But anyway, show and tell. People feel like they have got to show and tell. I'm looking for a lighter. If that's what y'all wondering, I'm looking around for a motherfucking lighter. My children always take my lighter. So excuse me. I'm going to go get a lighter so we can actually talk about some shit. Please excuse me. You better stop eating my yarn, dog. I'll be back, y'all. Hold on 1 second. Son? Okay. Got 3 lighters, all of them in there with the crew. Anyway. All right. Sorry about that. I had to get my little ugly lighter. My smoke chimney son always hijacking my lighter. But anyway, yeah, show and tell. People feel the need, they have to do it. And it's a testament when you see somebody, especially on social media, they feel like they have to what's the word I'm looking for? I just had it in the tip of my tongue. Yeah, they have to be the most provocative of the expose. You know, they have to say the most foul, filthy shit. And that gives them props in their world. You know, and within, these are really broken people. These are people who are mentally fragmented to a degree where it gives them a sense of accomplishment for ragging on someone else. It makes them feel a sense of superiority when they can see or they think others are worse off than they are, whether it be financially, whatever. Unfortunately, Black folks are more materially driven than anybody else I have ever met next to white folks. That's really unfortunate. Sadly, people who do that, they really don't know why they're in pain. A lot of them don't. Due to programming, social programming, societal programming, makes people feel they have to show and tell. And in order to define themselves as a productive member of society, you know, it's easier. It takes more energy to build than it does to destroy. So we have lazy, mentally lazy individuals, because your mind is followed by your actions. Your thoughts are followed by your actions. You have a thought, turns into an idea, a plan, and then you go into action to carry it out. So a lot of people have a lazy mind. And because of that lackadaisical attitude, it's much easier for them to believe and accept that their neighbor, while they're looking on somebody else's paper. I'm gonna get to that too. I'm gonna just jot these little points down as I go, because I don't really plan this shit. So this Bella, y'all, I don't know if y'all seen her. My rescue Poochie. She is 2 years old, and she keeps me company all day when we're crafting in here and doing all of our thing in my office here. She is a good doggy, and a lot of people don't like pits. They think they're, you know, really mean, horrible, vicious, ferocious, violent dogs. But she was abused very badly by males. I don't know, you know, what they did to her. I'm assuming they were physically abusive as well as, you know, verbally. But she's a beautiful terrier pit mix. That's Bella. And she is a gangster. And I love her. And she likes yarn like a cat, believe it or not. So yeah, she gets in my yarn and all that stuff. And she's a sweetie though. If you want a good dog, rescues have them. So as breeders, they're expensive, they're worth it. But you know, you want a good Poochie, you know, that needs some loving and is, you know, got him or her, go to a rescue. They have several of them here in the Kakalaka and all over the place, and they have good people who are very well trained in getting these dogs socialized so they can make good family members. You know, because she's turning into a good watchdog too. She's very, very protective, and I love Bella. So that's the new gangster of the family. But show and tell. See, I just did show and tell. Animals are very healing too. They're very healing, very therapeutic. We run every morning. She's learning yoga. So yeah, she's a good chick. I don't really do female dogs, but I think she's pretty fly. So I'm gonna let her stick around for a while. And she's bougie, so she fits right in. But yeah, people have got to feel in some way, shape, or form that they are on a higher totem, if you will. I'm not gonna say higher level because that's just so fucking demeaning and degrading. I'm on a different level than you. Frequency, totem. We'll use those terms. So it's more healing in that. You know, it's always that one-upsmanship going on. And you know, my grandmother used to always say, eyes on your own paper. You know, when you worried about what other people think, what other people doing, what they're not doing, how much you have got but compared to what they got, how much they got compared to what you got. They talking about you, you talking about them. They don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck, but y'all still talking about each other. Eyes on your own paper. When you consume yourself 12 hours a day with what you need to do, and the other 12 hours a day, you consume that with what you have to do. You got 24 hours filled up. You too busy to worry about what anybody give a fuck, think about you, or how they react to it. She said, if you touch one person a day in a positive way, then you have done your job. You have done enough. And that's really all that matters, you know? And people have got to make you care about their totem, the level of the totem that they are on. Whether it's them reaching up, trying to pull you down, or vice versa. You reaching up, trying to climb up and pull somebody else down. Or you just trying to climb up and you got people trying to kick you down, make you stay down. And that's it. All encompasses all the stuff that we're seeing right here, this new fad of sick that's going on. And Sharon Fitz brought up another really good point in one of her Real Talk videos about how, you know, people are so sensitive, and I'm just paraphrasing what she said. People are so sensitive now on social media and in real life. This ain't just on here, y'all. I see it in real life. People are so sensitive, and you know, now people are actually truly getting hurt behind the shit that people do on social media, the show and tell shit. Well, I can show you better than I can tell you. I'm gonna get on here and talk all this shit, and then I'm gonna go up the street and drag this bitch out her house. And then a lot of people are starting to see that, you know, people ain't gonna take your shit like they used to back in the 70s and the 60s. You know, we ain't our grandparents. Like, you know, we will throw hands. Okay? So, me, I personally believe this. As long as you don't harm my children, my personal property, my person, my way to make an income, and what I've already built, we cool. You say whatever fuck you want to say about me. You spread whatever, do whatever. You know, whatever floats your boat that day. Whatever gets your, you know, get your undies in a bunch. Whatever makes you, turns you on. If that would help you sleep at night, to target me, if I am the object of your goddamn disgust, so be it. Because it's 12 hours in a day that I'm doing what I need to do, and the other 12 I'm doing what I got to do. So everything else is all goddamn relative. I don't give a fuck. And I had to get to that point, and we all have been there sometime or another, where it meant more to show and tell than it did to just do what you got to do, get what you got to get done, and don't give a fuck if anybody really has any faith in what the fuck you say or do. It don't matter. If you've touched one person in a positive way and you've influenced somebody toward a better direction in life, who gives a fuck? You know, that's what I was trying to tell many of the ladies long ago when we were doing TRS and the Wolfpack started, you know, moving around a little bit, touching more people, you know. And that's why these motherfuckers call it Whack Wednesdays, because everything ain't for everybody, you know. And that's something that I get it. You know, I get that. Everything ain't for everybody. So if it's something that ain't sitting well with me, I'm just going to move on to something else. If I could take something from that, I will. Otherwise, I'm just moving on. You know what? Great. I'm glad y'all having a nice little powwow over here. Not vibing. We're going to find somewhere where I can vibe. See ya. Peace out. No harm, no foul. You know, people who are damaged, they can't exit gracefully, if you will, or they can't allow you to exit gracefully. These are show and tell motherfuckers. These are people who have to not only show how ignorant they are, but they tell it in their actions. And that's that ongoing repetitive cycle that I was referring to earlier. You know, show and tell syndrome. You got to show who you are. You got to tell it. And then if you're not vibing with something or someone that you know, you don't like what somebody says, or you don't like the way they are, their demeanor or whatever, show and tell syndrome, you cannot exit gracefully. They won't allow you to exit gracefully. It will always be an issue where they have a phantom complaint and they keep telling themselves this mantra over and over again until they believe that that's what happened to them and you're the cause of it. And they are going to make sure until they get tired that they attach and affix that sickness onto you. That's called scapegoating. You know, people have to scapegoat their own sickness because they minimize how fucked up they are. And they need something or someone to blame it on. Scapegoat. They need a scapegoat. And that's what is going on here in society now, in the Black culture, in the Black nation. Lots of scapegoating. With this gender war back and forth shit, you know, Black women this, black men that, Black bitches this, Black niggas that. You know, where nobody can take an objective step back and say, you know what? As a consensus, as a whole, we want the same things. Black women want the same things that Black men want. The only difference is the gender and the energy behind it. You know, these low frequency motherfuckers that we see hopping all around like ticks and shit, they really don't want nothing. They don't even know themselves. All they know is they can find a morsel to gnaw on. They gonna gnaw on that motherfucker until they chew their own fucking paws off. And don't even realize that they are gnawing at themselves. You know, like, I can't remember what animal does it. It's a forest animal that lives in the woods. I think it either is a raccoon or it might be a fox. I know I've seen a fox do it. When we were out hunting one time, a fox got caught in a trap, and those are inhumane now. They don't use them anymore, but a fox got caught in a trap, his paw, and you know, the fox gnawed off his paw to get away. But it was odd because this particular fox didn't just leave, like he wanted to come back for his paw. So when we rolled up on this fox who had gnawed off his paw, it was an ugly sight. It's very violent. And you know, those animals are pretty vicious when they want to be, and they're strong. And it was a sight to behold, and it very shocking. And you know, that's how these people are. I don't even want to call them people. They're more like beings. They're like mutated versions of humans. And they walk around us every day. You know, and I was just telling another one of my girlfriends the other day. I said, we were listening to a video on YouTube. She was like, what's that? I said, you know me, I'm studying. I'm watching, doing my little thing. She said, that person is sick. I said, I know. She said, well, you know, it's unfortunate because something just hit me. And she said, these are people that we stand in line next to in the grocery store who go home at night and get on their computer and say this kind of shit, do this kind of shit. These are people we sit next to in a restaurant. These are people who are waiting on us, servicing us, taking care of our dogs, our cars, our children. So, you know, this shit is real, real. And whoever thinks that they can come online and say, oh, this is not real, or come offline in the real world, everyday life, society, outside of cyberland and think that you are not sitting next to a mentally ill individual. 85% of the human population is mentally touched, deranged, sick. And that number is growing. That's just a guesstimate in the mental health industry. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot. So this is very important to keep your eyes on your own paper in life, because the magnitude of dementia that I see is astounding, and at the same time it doesn't surprise me. It's kind of like an oxymoron. And I look at these people, these beings, and a lot of these motherfuckers are truly stuck. Like they really don't realize what they're doing is not functioning healthy pathology. They really think the shit they do is what mainstream functioning healthy people do. Show and tell it. You know? And it takes more energy to do all that than it does to just keep your eyes on your own paper. Do you? And if you are pretty good with what you're doing, because we all can only do so much. And if you are satisfied, you know what, I at least helped one family today. I at least made somebody smile today. I at least was able to give somebody a ride today that didn't have one. I at least was able to, you know, shell out $5 to help somebody get to where they need to be. You know, something. You know you've made a difference. Again, the Black community is driven off of doing it big time, showing and telling. And there's nothing wrong with that if you have the means and the wherewithal to do it. You know, if you have the tools, if you have the the knowledge, the know-how. You know, a lot of us don't have the know-how to do shit but run our mouth and dare challenge someone else who has actually done or are doing the things that the naysayer is criticizing you for not doing. Why? Scapegoat. In order to feel better about the shit that I do, I have got to put somebody else down. I can't own my action or lack of action in a situation where it called for me to make a righteous choice. Instead, I'll say, well, there wasn't nothing for me to do. You know? Or that, you know, like what I like to call favoritism. Picks. You have your pick. I can defend you when you're done wrong, but I can't defend you because you make me feel insecure or you make me feel threatened in some kind of way. So I'll defend the underdog. But you, yeah, because you outshine me. See, people put you on a higher pedestal than you put yourself. You know? A lot of people need somebody to look up to. They need a leader. They need a placebo. They need a lab rat to model and mimic their life after because they are stuck. You know? And that's what I told the ladies a while ago too on the show, still do. The ones that still come to me and talk to me and ask me shit. Still, my only question to you is, and they get mad at me and I feel the heat, but they have to think about it. I'm going to come to you straight. I want to know why you worried about it. Why you worried about what somebody said underneath your video? Why you worried? Why you taking this inside your body? Why are you allowing it to affect your everyday flow when it is words font on a screen? You know? The word bitch don't mean nothing to me. Why are you letting that affect you? Why are you giving that your energy as opposed to turning it around and making it something that's empowering to you? Like the argument over the word nigga. Some people say we should take that out of our vocabulary. Don't use it. That should no black person should ever tell another black person a nigga. You got your black card revoked, bitch, if you call another black woman a nigger or brother. But we have, in a very beautiful, creative way, like we do everything else, We have turned that into a term of endearment. And it's our own code word. It's used in so many different contexts. You know, I say nigga all the time. Look, that's my nigga, right? Or these niggas. You know, I'm not too happy if I use that. It's slang. Now, we know the history of the word. We know the root of the word. We know why it was used the way it was used. To take away that word means to take away a part of our history. That, don't you think they took enough from us? See, people don't think that deep before they speak and say and do shit. Whether it's a neighbor doing it or anybody online. You know? A lot of Black males don't think of everything our foremothers have been through, you know, before they decide and determine what their standard of a Black woman should look like, sound like, feel like. You know, there were all varieties of women back then. You know, those that cuss, those that fight, those that shoot, smoke, you know, that lived in a brothel. That's how you know a person is lost, when they don't know themselves and they don't really understand their own history, because they would rather tell you what you're not than look into who they are. It's as simple as that, you know? And I was, again, another conversation I was having with my daughter about that. I've developed a new mantra, you know? When I'm speaking with someone and the situation is getting heated or warm, and I know I'm clear and I know I have stated myself clearly, and they push you into repeating yourself as if they didn't hear you the first time, you say, I have no more words for this conversation. None. Because it's not what you think of me, it's what I know about myself that's more important. It's not what you can show and tell me about yourself that defines my character, whether it's better or worse. The show and tell, whether it's better or worse than mine, that's not what defines my end goal. That's not what defines the reason for why I'm doing what I do, which is different from what you do. That's another thing, where Black folks think that we all have to be monolithic people. Everybody Black got to think the same, talk the same, have the same level of education, have the same level of income, have the same level of bullshit, have the same level of tolerance, same level of everything. If you don't think like me, if you don't agree with me, if you don't do what I want you to do when I want you to do it, then you ain't shit. Eyes on your own paper. Why are you worried about how I am walking this journey? How does me walking my journey the way that I walk it affect you to the point where you have to shout about it? Because last time I checked, what I eat don't make you shit. Show and tell. Why do I have to show and tell to make you believe that's what I am or who I am or what I'm doing or whatever? Show and tell. Why is it important to you to see that? Unless there's some affixation to me that you have, to where now, if a flaw pops up, or if it's something in your mind that lowers that pedestal that you had me on, now we on to something. You must have been looking up to me in some way, shape, or fashion. So much so that you couldn't accept the imperfections about me. You wanted a perfect version of me. So there's a flaw or mistake or a oopsie or a trip or whatever. Now that's all I see. So now I'm going to begin to dismantle you. But one thing a lot of people don't realize is you cannot destroy what you didn't build. You can't take apart what you didn't create. You can't expose what's already been accepted and acknowledged. It's impossible for me to allow someone else to destroy me. They don't have that power. Even in death, they can't destroy me, because I live on in my children, I live on in my granddaughter, I live on in any little works that I've done before I left this realm. So you can't destroy something that you didn't build. This is as simple as that. You can't tear down a wall that you didn't construct and design it. You can't interrupt somebody's journey if it wasn't allocated for you to walk that path. It's as simple as that. And we make it so difficult with trying to show and tell one-upsmanship with the next one. The Black community got that so bad. We will not ever unite the way we mentally unite, because we've been surviving. We've been surviving for the past 5, 6 centuries. So being afraid of a race war, we've been in a race war ever since them motherfuckers colonized the continents and bastardized our cultures. We've been in a race war all this time. So the revolution been going on. We just ain't been picking up the ball where the others left off. We can't repeat and reinvent the wheel of what our forefathers have already carved out for us. We got to keep carving, keep going forward. I can't do what King did. You know what I'm saying? I got to pick up where he left off and move on. We have to take that wisdom and pass it down. But we got people who are more in tune with material shit, shaming tactics. What else? Fill in the blank. On and on and on. That's why mentally, as a people, we can't come together at this point. Now, I do see a mass awakening among our Black nation. I do see that. But the show and tell takes precedence over that, which is why we can't keep anything going on a high frequency, such as TRS, such as, you know, any other really good shows that started off well with good chemistry, with good cadence, where people were coming, new people were coming, more people were listening, paying attention, engaging, you know, no nonsense women coming together to truly break down the ice, break the ice, you know, and let the brothers know, look, there are sisters that's approachable. We can talk, we can be friends, we can be cordial, we can be polite, and we can get in your ass too. And that knocked down a lot of stereotypes for a lot of people. And I still have brothers coming to me to this day going, you know what? I'm so glad I talked to you and connected with y'all on TRS. Where have you been all my life? Now, that doesn't mean that this brother want to sleep with one of us, Styles. That don't mean that, you know, we trying to collect dicks, Delisa. That don't mean that we in competition for attention, Dana. That don't mean that I need all the male attention on me and can't nobody else get a word in edgewise, Delisa. That I can talk as long as I want, but can't nobody else say nothing about nothing until I say it's okay to talk, Delisa. You know, that's all kind of people who do that. You know, and I feel like, you know, I have a really fucked up sense of humor, and I have a very sarcastic dry sense of humor too. And you know, I throw barbs and I talk a lot of shit, but I don't approach other people with ego. I don't approach situations with my ego and pride showing. Because a lot of people don't understand, when you approach me, I read your energy first. I can pick up on it like that. And I can tell if you're an ego-driven reactionary person, or if you truly are humble and ready to connect with another spirit. A lot of people can't handle that styles. A lot of people can't handle that because they assume it's the same thing that they feel, which is their ego. Their ego gets massaged with the attention and accolades of others. And that means something to that person. And what they don't realize is that is a mental illness. It's called delusional. And in order to build anything with anybody, you have to have trust first. And if you have trust issues and you don't trust others, that means you don't trust yourself either. So pride and ego leading, you'll never get anywhere. And you'll constantly repeat the same patterns in your life. Just different people. Just like with these trolls. They think that if they go to a new person and do what they do, that is something new. Like they have accomplished a new task. But really, they're just repeating the same behavior over and over, just with different people. And they really think that they're accomplishing something. And this is helping the Black community some kind of way. Show and tell. Mental illness is real, y'all. And people don't want the truth. That's why a lot of people have a lot of problem with messengers like me. They want to expose. It's got to be fake. It's got to be something about her that just, got to find something. Even if it had nothing to do with the message, got to. Black folks don't want human beings. They want drones of sorts. They want a perfect version of themselves. Black folks ain't supposed to have no flaws, no mistakes, especially when you're dealing with people who need somebody to lead them. And a lot of Black males have that problem. They have managed to assign certain caliber of Black women their journey. They've given Black women an assignment to fix their ass, in other words. It's like it has to matter to me what they feel and think about me. And if it don't matter, then they're going to keep repeating the same cycle until it somehow, way, shape, or form, they're going to make it matter to me what they think or speculate, if that makes sense. Show and tell. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you yourself. I'm not lost like a lot of people. I know me. I live in this body every day. Because you're lost, you have to try to drag me to that hell with you. I did a video about that about a year or so ago. Don't let people lie to you. It always is what they say it ain't. Still rings true today. And people don't want the truth. People don't want to accept the truth about themselves. It's really hard to look in the mirror. It really is, and say, you know what? You worry too much. You overthink shit. That's my problem. I overthink shit. Then I wind up procrastinating on it for a little bit, and I might miss an opportunity because I'm overthinking it. One of my kids may have said something to me, overthinking. I jabbed back and we done got into a little tip. And if because of me, I'm overthinking, what the fuck did you just say? We all do it. But when it comes to mental illness, we got to be so careful about this show and tell shit. Because it's really counterproductive to what our forefathers started. And if you look back over time, any progressive Black folks that got some shit done and moved some shit, no matter what capacity it was in, whether it was the Nation of Islam, goddamn Christianity, whatever walk of life they came from, whatever system they chose to believe in. Them people did not give a fuck about what the rest of the black folks thought. You know, Martin Luther King got a lot of pushback, and I just use him because he's the very first one in the front of my mind. A lot of pushback, a lot of haters, a lot of people telling him he was fake, he wasn't down for his people, he was leading us to the fucking wolves, all that, you know. And some of those are part true, you know. And if it's not the whole truth, it's not true. Because I know his accomplishments, from what I've learned, far outweigh his flaws, you know. And just like anybody else, you're going to have your own give you more resistance than the common enemy. And that's what we see right now. I see more of us going at each other to tear down and destroy one another, mentally, physically, financially, whatever, then I see us going at the common oppressor, which is the creators and innovators of white supremacy. I don't see none of y'all motherfuckers dousing gasoline on their camp, trying to blow it up as much as I do in the black nation, us doing it to each other. And that's just a fact. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers have a problem because I'm not intimidated by this bullshit that you see people doing to each other. I'm not intimidated by that shit. I don't give a fuck about a damn, you know, egotistical black man who can't stand an outspoken black, because that's really what their main problem is with all of us, you know, with all of us. And we are the voice for our sisters who are thinking it and just don't want to say it because they don't want to deal with the shit that we deal with. You know, I have very thick skin, you know, so I don't give a fuck. I'm here to learn the truth, learn about myself, learn about human nature, study the brain and the law so I can actually put a dent in the shit that's broken so that we can get rid of it and try to turn it around for the future. And that's another thing that show and tell shit where we get in trouble with is we want to see instantaneous results. Well, what you doing for the black community? What you doing? What you doing ain't as good as what I'm doing. We hear that shit all the time. Some things just take time. And you could be taking strides to do it, working your plan, got your shit together, moving on down. I don't see you doing nothing for the black community. It takes time. What I'm working on for the black community might be a little different than what you're working on for the black community. Where you might be able to provide right now results. My results are long term. You'll see those later. But I'm putting in the work now. See? That goes back to that monolithic, ignorant mindset that black folks have when it comes to the pissing contest of show and tell. If I don't see the results, or if I'm not approving of those results, it's measured by my yardstick what you're doing. That's mental illness, y'all. Same thing with the ladyhood. When we were talking about ladyhood, ladyish, all that stuff. You ain't no lady because you smoke. You ain't no lady because you drink. You ain't no lady because you cuss. You ain't no lady because you don't have a man. Measuring others by your own yardstick. That's the most ignorant show and tell we have as an issue as Black folks. We cannot accept anyone that might be different. Black folks don't know how to say they don't know or don't have the answers to certain things. Black folks love to shame each other on what we don't know versus what we do. That's that monolithic expectation of thought that we place on each other. And then you turn around and scream, y'all niggas is crazy. Because you don't think like me, act like me, eat like me, sleep like me, blink like me, fart like me. Then you ain't shit, you fake. Show and tell. So in order for me to prove that I'm real or about it, whatever, I have to produce a certain amount of results in a certain way in order for me not to be ridiculed or talked about in a negative, whatever. And people truly take this shit to heart. I'm telling you, it's young, impressionable people on here. And they go to school every day. They're out and about in society just like we are. And they look at us, adult 40-somethings, 30-somethings, doing this shit. And you wonder why the youth is twerking. You wonder why people think stripping is a career. You wonder why young girls have zero self-esteem and allow young boys and older men to walk all over them. Just like LA and his girlfriend. Just like Styles and his girlfriend. You know, these are people who already feel low. These are people who already know they feel a certain way about themselves. So, you know, they've come to their darkest hour where they like, everybody's a victim. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. So why should I give a fuck about you? And unless you don't agree, monolithic thinking, if you don't always agree, if you don't always, you know, give me my shine, if you don't always give me my accolades and put my steak on the table first, then you ain't shit. You did not allow me to victimize you. You can't call somebody a friend that you were never friendly to. You can't say you love somebody when you really don't love yourself. And you can't expect people to not see that shit just because you're blinded by it. It's real simple. Getting back to that statement, I wrote it down. Eyes on your own paper. You know, we really do need to concentrate more on what we're doing in your cipher, what you're doing in your cipher. I'm more concerned about, am I making a good impression on my children? Am I showing them the best leader I can? You know, and are they seeing the path that I'm taking and understanding it's not just for the title, it's not just for the notoriety, it's because I am passionate about it and I care about it, and it's something that I can use as a tool to help them have a better future and a better go of it down the line. And you know, we can't get a break for that either, can we, sisters? Because no matter how hard we work, no matter how many tools we utilize to get to where we need to go, no matter how honorable of a walk we make, it's going to always be that handful of black males who will shoot all kind of sniper shots at you to discredit you because they just do not like you. They don't like Black women. They never will. They are angry at a Black woman in particular that have touched their soul in a toxic manner, and they never healed from it. You know, you can back that down all you want. It's the truth. That's why I said people don't want to accept the truth. You know, and the reason a lot of times why people connect so quickly online with others is because their demons recognize each other. So it might seem like this unbelievable serendipity. And baby, you got Lucifer dancing around inside of two people, making love to each other. That's what the demons are doing. Yeah. It's like, you know, Tommy Sotomayor and Lana. They demons just recognize each other. And I think Lana got it because she exited finally. And she said, I'm done. I'm moving on. And I don't want to revisit that shit ever again in my life. Hopefully she evolved. And now she'll make better choices. That's what life is about, learning. Taking away from experiences in life that are supposed to make you a better person. But, you know, people would rather believe you're a shittier person than they are. Why? Bruised ego, show and tell. I got to show this person that my opinion of them matters more to me than any positive works that they've done. Why? Because my ego won't allow me to just say, damn, I can draw from that. Let me take a tidbit and start my own path to healing. People would much rather believe Black women are whores, dick suckers, prostitutes, poor stewards of children, welfare recipient specialists. People would rather believe that. They would. Than to say, you know what? It's a lot of sisters out here doing their thing. You know? They might not be plastered all over the news, but that did debunk a lot of the shit that I thought. So I need to put my ego in check and put my pride aside and stop being such a nasty motherfucker to our sisters. See, because a lot of Black men feel entitled. They have assigned themselves the entitlement to roll up on Black women and just randomly spew shit out in public, online. Black men feel entitled to try to control and dictate and delegate to Black women. They do. And when you run up on a motherfucker like me, you get done up because you're not entitled to do that. You can look at the trolls and tell. You can look at that. Look at the comments and tell. You need to be, you not, why you doing this, you should be doing that. This ain't that page. This just ain't that page, bro. So my advice is to click the X if you don't like what you see in here. You know, like I tell everybody, me being ugly to you is a compliment. Because I'm not on here for a beauty contest. I'm not on here to find out how many people think I'm cute. So you have to take your power and keep it. Take it back and keep it. Stop giving your power away to these show and tell motherfuckers. You have got to keep your eyes on your own motherfucking paper if you really, truly want to move something real. Because anybody can put a camera in the basement and talk a bunch of shit. Anybody can get a tablet and sit on a porch and talk a bunch of shit. Anybody can sit up and pretend to be your friend just to see if you are weak enough to tell them something detrimental to your life so they can run back and use it as a means of exposure. Anybody can do that. That's shit that happened in high school for me. So it's not nothing new. And those that are suffering from this show and tell shit, it's a shame that you have not mentally evolved beyond junior high, high school. That's a shame. You know. And as far as that goes, you know, anything ugly for me, if it's unattractive to my ears, my eyes, my senses in any way, I don't fuck with it. You know, like skunk weed. You know, I don't fuck with skunk weed because it stinks. I don't like it. You know, same thing with peanut butter. I can't stand peanut butter because I'm allergic to it. So I don't fuck with it. You know, the most I fuck with peanut butter is to make my granddaughter a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or to make her some peanut brittle. Other than that, I don't fuck with peanut butter. Same thing for people. If it's a person that I'm not gaining anything from, they just irk my goddamn spirit, I don't fuck with them type of people, which is why I have a very small circle of people that I engage with intimately. Very small. That's why there's a lot of motherfuckers like Vic, Lala, and them who just chew on the slightest morsel that they can find about private people, especially black women. You know, I use Jeannie for an example too. Jeannie is a very private woman. You know, she ain't around a whole lot of motherfuckers all the time. Her intimate circle is just that, intimate. And she'll let you in that motherfucker if she wants you to. But they just have to examine and find anything. You know, just like me and Lovey said, the sticker on the wall. The fact that the, you know, cover is flipped over on the bed and not all the way tucked in. The leash hanging on the door. You know, they got to have somebody to look up to. So when they see a little flaw, they admire you so much. And so when they see a flaw or they hear a rumor or what have you, oh, their whole world is shattered. Whole world is shattered. Or if you ignore them too long, they start to do outlandish shit to get you to respond. And then when you do, they can't take the heat when you do respond. Shit like that. Shit like that. They want to try to flip it and say they're being targeted when it's really the other way around. People start shitting and wonder how shit got started. Yeah, like that. So I think I'm going to stop that right there. You know, today has been a very laid back day for me. It's so gorgeous here. The rain is coming down. The grass is getting greener. The blooms are opening up more. It's so beautiful. With swimming with my little butterfly, we had a ball. She made me do a couple cannonballs and shit like that. So I can't do that shit no more. I ain't even gonna front. I can roller skate my ass off, but I ain't fucking cannonballing no more. All right? So eyes on your own paper. Set your own goals. Meet them damn goals and cheer for yourself. Fuck what these people think. And you know, we don't need to show and tell. We don't need to show and tell because we've been doing this. I make this shit look easy. That's why they on my ass. I'm just let you know. So Jamila, you keep rising, girly. To all my girls, my sisters, my homies, my all of that. Oh, M. Stephan, I didn't forget. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna answer your question. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna come back and do that. I'll do a different one, separate from this shit. But I just wanted to put that out there. Show and tell syndrome. Eyes on your motherfucking paper. You know, it's a trend now of elementary school minded niggas running around like roaches. Like the roaches in LA's little girls' room. It's really useless noise pollution. That's all it is. That's all it is. It makes these motherfuckers in society feel better about their low station in life to try to drag others down. It says a lot about your character and your personality, because you know, if you do it online, there's a small chance that you would do that in person. And anytime I see one individual, we just use one, not a group. When I see one person online and 100% of the time, everything they do is negative and toxic, I know their intimate life is miserable to some degree. There's no balance there. So I'm gonna leave this right here. I didn't do no music today because I'm crafting and knitting and crocheting and doing all kind of quilting and shit. I need a good serger. So if anybody can see a good price on a good serger, let me know, please, because I need to purchase a serger. I'm gonna start doing furniture upholstery, reupholstery again. That's another thing that you'll see at Butterfly Totem. We restore and repurpose a lot of stuff. So got some real cute ideas for the crib, ladies and gents. Those as men that's interested in decor too. So we try to make our living space eco-green friendly. That's what we try to do. We want to lower our carbon footprint. That's been a passion of mine ever since I was about 6. The ecosystem and Earth Day, planting trees and pollution and clean pollution and solar energy and wind energy. I've been all crazy about that for a very long time. A lot of people don't know that about me. And I'm showing a lot of different more layers to who I am these days. So it's really fucking up a lot of the haters. Fucking them up. They can't believe this black bitch got all that going on up here. That's not no smart black bitch. That bitch is dumb. She ain't nothing but a cum dump, football sucking through a water hose bitch. She can't possibly know how to repurpose a fucking couch. She don't know how to make no fucking upholstery. That's a black bitch. She's a stupid, dumb black bitch. Black bitches don't know how to sew. Black bitches don't know how to fucking make clothes from scratch. That black ugly bitch don't know how to knit or crochet or cook. That black hoe got a fucking dirty ass house because she got a 2-year-old puppy tearing up shit around in her office. So her whole house is nasty like that. Dumb black bitch. All y'all black bitches on welfare and twerking and shit. Did I cover everything? Y'all, peace out. Enjoy this day. If you anywhere in the South and it's raining, I feel you. It's gorgeous. And I'm going to go take my Bella Bell outside for a little walk. And we're going to go get some motherfucking ice cream. Peace out. One love, one unity. Hotel, motherfuckers. My aunt goddamn heal the goddamn nation. Y'all be good to each other. Most of all, be good to yourself. Eyes on your own paper. Fuck the show and tell syndrome. Heal the goddamn nation. I'm going back to stitching.